Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of United State of Mind. It's myself, Lies. To my right, my co-host, my boy, CultureCams. Guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I think there's only really one place to start. Of course, the news, the interview that's dominated the headlines. It's taken over the footballing world. Hell, I was watching Piers Morgan yesterday. It's taking up just primetime television. Period. Everyone is talking about this. It's possibly the biggest interview any athlete has ever given. Let's be real. It's at that stature for a player of this status.
Football.
Yeah. Of course, we got ones in NBA, like what's it called, the decision. That's big too. But like for an athlete to come out and call out his club like this, and of the stature of Ronaldo and of Man United, it's massive. So we got to talk about it. But before we do, Cam, how are you, my friend? The Premier League is done, by the way. We got the World Cup coming up, so a nice little 1 week break, and we get right back to it.
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in good spirits, man. I'm in good spirits. This week it's been a crazy week. Obviously, a last minute win versus Fulham. We're all in a good mood, and then boom, bombshell drops. Ronaldo does his thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm still in good spirits, man. World Cup coming, a lot of content coming as well. I can't complain. I cannot complain, bro. So yeah, man. I mean, let's get into this discussion. What's really taking over the world? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I mean, well, look, guys, anyone who knows me knows where I stand on this. Anyone who knows my stance on Ronaldo and Man United knows where I stand on this already. So I'm not going to be giving you guys any like groundbreaking insight on my part. You guys can probably guess where I stand on this. I'm interested on where you stand, because you, out of the two of us, are always the one who is more so lenient on Ronaldo. You're the one who remembers the glory days more than me. But this is really, for me, a damning interview. Me personally, I think it's a damning interview. And look, if I say what I want to say, I'll get into it. But I'm really interested from where you stand, from the Ten Hag bit, the Rooney bit, the Gary Neville bit, the Glazers bit, all of it together in one interview from what we've gotten, because, of course, the whole thing isn't out. What are your takeaways from this interview, Cam?
My takeaways is that we've just got a player. You've got a person like Ronaldo who just really, for me, just can't accept the reality of his situation. Do you know what I mean? The reality of his situation is you're not the player that you used to be. You're turning 38 years old. You scored 1 league goal this season. You scored 3 goals in all competitions this season. So he's not the player that he once was. And this is what it's just come across to me. Like, I feel like, yes, he said some things that were facts in the interview. Yeah, we Glazers, all that stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into. But to start with what you mentioned, let's say the Ten Hag situation, for you to come out, you know, and say, oh, I don't respect your manager. From there, boom, that's enough. That's enough right there. For you to say you don't respect the manager, that's enough for you to leave the club. Let's be realistic. Like, whoever the manager is, that's enough to leave the club. So you look at, for example, Alex Ferguson, right? Alex Ferguson got rid of Roy Keane for an interview. That wasn't even that bad. His was just, he was talking about the players, but it wasn't even that bad. He was talking about a poor performance against Middlesbrough, and he got rid of him, you know? And then you look at Yap Stam, just off a treble, won 3 Premier Leagues as well, right? Or whatever it was. And he writes a little sentence in a book, and Alex Ferguson kicks him out of the club. This was arguably the best defender in the world at the time, you know, like one of the best defenders in the world. And this is a Cristiano Ronaldo who isn't nowhere near one of the best players in the world. You don't need to put up with all of what the drama that he's bringing and the circus that he's got around him is a massive distraction that Manchester United just do not need. It's the simple reality of the situation. And I think Ronaldo's struggling to accept that. So when he's saying Ten Hag doesn't respect him, of course, we don't know the ins and outs of what their discussions or what their conversations are. That's one thing that we don't know. But from the outside looking in, as we're all just talking from the outside looking in, I absolutely do not see what Ten Hag has done wrong with this guy, except from try and be a football manager for Manchester United. All he has tried to do is get results for Manchester United. Of course, he has his own reasons or whatever, and he obviously doesn't want to get sacked, so he puts the best team out as well and tries to get results. Because I saw some people saying, what, you think a manager isn't self-serving as well? Don't see how that makes sense, but fair enough. So he's trying to get the best results for Manchester United. And if he doesn't see Cristiano Ronaldo as part of that, that is the reality of the situation. and Ronaldo is refusing to accept that that's his situation. And that's just that is just how I see it. Like Ronaldo wasn't here in preseason. Now we can say it's either because of, people are saying he said it's because of his family situation. I'm glad his family is okay. You know what I mean? That's first and foremost. I'm glad his family's okay. However, all throughout preseason, Ten Hag was saying he's not here for family reasons. He's not here for family reasons. He's not here for family reasons. To the point that Ten Hag had to get to a point and said, no more questions on Cristiano Ronaldo. Because that's all it was about. We go and beat Liverpool. Where's Cristiano Ronaldo? We go and beat this team. Where's Melbourne or whoever we beat? Where's Cristiano Ronaldo? He said, listen, no more questions. All he did the whole time was try and defend and cover the Ronaldo situation. While Ronaldo was gone, he asked to leave the football club, bro. He wanted to leave the football club. So when people are saying this situation, like there was no sympathy, like people are saying Ronaldo said there was no empathy or whatever. Look, this is all he say, she say. Man United are gonna come out and say, no, we did show empathy. He's gonna come out and say they didn't. The only reality of the situation that I can look at is he asked to leave the football club while away for family reasons. I'm sorry. There's reasonable doubt that kicks in there. There is reasonable doubt. Lies, bro, if you told me I've got family issues, I've got to go back to New York real quick, and while you're away, you call me and say, by the way, I ain't really feeling this FTBL thing. And then you don't come back for 3 weeks. I'll be thinking, yo, naturally I'll be like,
yeah,
that's a bit, it's a bit coincidental. We just gotta be real about the situation. We're all human beings. You're gonna have reasonable doubt. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's just how I see it. I hope his family. I'm happy that his family's okay and stuff like that. However, for me, it all just stems from Ronaldo's not happy with his situation. He wants to go to a club that's going to give him starting minutes. He knows he's on his last few years, final years. You see this in basketball all the time. Guys that were stars, they can't accept being a 6th man. They can't accept being a 7th man. It is just the reality of the situation. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Ronaldo for that, but maybe the time is, well, not maybe, the time is up at Man United. It's as simple as that. The interview is going to have more sparks, I'm sure. But once you start going towards Ten Hag and stuff, it's just like, yeah, you're becoming untenable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's an untenable situation. So let's see. Who knows, man? There's more to come. He might start digging out players, bro. Who knows? Because clearly, there's no hold bar situation. And this is somebody that me, bro. I love Ronaldo, bro. Throughout his whole career, I've been Ronaldo. I'm always boosting Ronaldo. But the time comes where you gotta be serious about the situation. And you're not losing anything amazing at this point. You're losing a player that has 3 goals this season. You're losing a player that is not what he once was. He signed a 2-year deal, Lias, bro. This is what I don't like, yeah? And this is coming from Roy. This is coming from Rio. This is coming from, is it Sunez as well? The narrative that I don't like is, well, if Man United didn't want him, you should have let him leave. Look, verbatim, many sporting directors have come out and said, we ain't on Ronaldo. We don't want Ronaldo. It's as simple
Tuchel
as
lost his job over it, bro. Tuchel lost his job over it.
Tuchel lost his job over it. Many people have come and said this. So what people are basically saying is Man United should have turned around and said, oh, you want to leave? All right, cool. We'll terminate your contract and pay you compensation because you've asked to leave 1 year into your 2-year deal. I'm sorry, people. That's not how business works. Yeah. If Ronaldo wanted to leave so badly, here, I'll pay off my contract. You want to do that? Do it, bro. But this assumption that, well, you should have just let him leave. I don't understand that. I don't understand. How can you say that, bro? Like, it don't make sense.
And then he comes out, bro, and starts saying, I feel betrayed because I feel like certain people at the club are trying to force me out. Are you trying to leave, or are the club trying to force you out? Which one of the two is it? I really liked what you said, Kim, about it's almost like denial. It's self-denial at this stage. A lot of people are kind of looking at, is this a conflict between Ronaldo and Man United? Is it a conflict between Ronaldo and the Glazers? Is it a conflict between Ronaldo and Erik ten Hag? The main takeaway I got from this interview is that the conflict at hand here is the idea of what Ronaldo thinks he is in his head and the reality of the situation, Ronaldo's status in the current footballing world. Ronaldo still believes that he should be a starting striker playing 90 minutes every single game for a Champions League contending team competing for major trophies. In his head, he still believes he's that caliber of player. The reality, though, is that he's barely good enough to play for a Man United team that are fifth behind Newcastle and a bang average Spurs team that are in a process. He's barely good enough to play for them. But the thing that made Cristiano Ronaldo so good throughout his career is his hunger, his mentality, his desire to always be at the top. And in fact, in the interview, when he talks about Rooney, he says maybe he's jealous that I'm still at the top level and he's retired. He still considers himself at that top level. But that's really what's holding him back at this moment, because he doesn't have the humility and the self-awareness to realize that he's not that guy anymore. I keep bringing up the Zlatan angle because Zlatan, for me, growing up, this guy is the most egotistical, arrogant footballer on the planet, in my opinion. And even he, at one point, had the self-awareness to realize what his status in the footballing world was, take a step back and realize, I can't do it anymore. I can't demand to be the guy at the top level anymore. So it's either you go to the MLS like he did and go bang it up and score goals, or if you want to still compete for trophies, understand your role in a team, maybe take a more of a mentorship role, understand that you're not going to start every single game, and understand that this is what football is, bro. Everyone has a shelf life. Ronaldo has extended his past any other athlete in this sport ever. No player has ever been 36, 35 years old, still scoring 25 to 30 goals a season. He's unique in that way. But Father Time is undefeated, bro. And it's finally caught up to him, and he doesn't have the self-awareness. That's the major takeaway I got from this interview. He's unable to understand that. And for me, he's lashing out at people who are criticizing him, like Rooney and Gary Neville. The way he comes out and basically says that, why are they coming at me over and over and over again? Nothing Wayne Rooney and Gary Neville said in those interviews was blasphemy. Nothing they said was an attack on his character. They are giving purely football analysis, and it's absolutely spot on. United cannot play with him anymore.
What I think it is with Ronaldo, obviously, look, that's probably a personality situation where I think I don't know how he is as a person, but it seems like he expects loyalty, a certain degree of loyalty from everyone. You can come from, that's how it seems. He expects a certain degree of loyalty. And when I listen to these type of things, I have one view here, another view there. You know what I mean? So this isn't all just anti whatever Ronaldo or anything like that. But I see him as somebody that feels like everyone should be loyal to him if they played with him or if he considers them a friend or whatever. But the reality is, these guys are on TV. These guys have to do a job, right? And their job is to speak the 100% truth about a situation. Rooney, I've listened to everything Rooney has said about Ronaldo, and all he has basically said is Man United going forward need to go in a different direction, that he probably wouldn't have brought him back. But he's given his view. Amongst that, he says this is the top two greatest footballer of all time. He's broken all these records, everything that he does, he still scores goals. He's given him all the praise, but he's given his view. Ronaldo, I think, sees that as someone that's like, well, you are my friend. Why are you going on TV and speaking about me or whatever in this particular way? That's why. The Gary Neville situation as well. Look, Gary Neville, he's annoying as well. But the same thing with Gary Neville, he's just giving his point of view. You know what I mean? What we always want from these journals is honesty. And these guys have given their point of views, regardless if they know Ronaldo or not. And then that is just a situation, man. Once you go onto TV and all that type of stuff, that's reality. And that just makes me feel that people around Ronaldo or whatever are just, it's like he probably has a lot of yes men around him. And that's why a lot of successful people just have yes men around them, whatever. And I don't know Ronaldo's circle, so I can't say that. But that's just the vibe it's given, that if anyone speaks out against you, they're not your friend, they're haters.
It's not even about not your friend. If you're against him, if you're not with him, you're against him. You see the cold shoulder he gave to Gary Neville the other day. Over what? Over him saying that United could move in a different direction.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's all just like, it's all a sense of like loyalty and all this type of stuff. But look, this whole situation has dragged out. You know what I mean? It is dragged out. The only thing that I would say is that what I don't like about this whole situation is that what happens is that you got Ronaldo, who's such a huge figure, right? So he brings across a fan base. Wherever Ronaldo goes, he brings across a fan base. He's the biggest football player probably of all time,
Yeah.
whatever, right? So when you have someone like that, you bring across all the Ronaldo fans and all this type of stuff, people that don't do they support Man United necessarily? Of course, a lot of people support Man United, but a lot of people are coming across with Ronaldo. So when you see all this online stuff and all this hate for Ten Hag online and stuff, you got to remember these people have come from supporting Ronaldo from Real Madrid, from here, from there, their Stan accounts and all this type of stuff. So it brings such a mad, toxic kind of situation around it that you get situations where people are saying, and we will touch on the Glazers thing and all that stuff, where I think he was spitting. But you get to these moments where people will say, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I know he didn't turn up to preseason. Okay, yeah. I know he left preseason game early as well. Okay, yeah. I know he asked to leave the club. Oh yeah. I know he walked out of the club walked out of the game mid match. Oh yeah. I know he refused to come on. Oh yeah, I know, and he did an interview. But he's spitting when it comes. No, bro, you can't ignore all the moments before.
He murdered 6 guys, but at least he's saving the cat in the tree.
Yeah, exactly. So the situation is, look, like Ronaldo's behavior has been crazy, and the thing is, I know you've got a legend, right? You've got a legend, one of the greatest players. So in a way, you're saying, yeah, do you know what? He's you got to treat him differently, or you got to whatever. You still got to do the best thing for your football club, for what you think for your football club. Because if Ten Hag had come in, kept playing Ronaldo, and there was all this talks about he has to play because of the board and all this type of stuff, we'll be out here calling him the biggest yes man. He's a this, he's a puppet, he's a da 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 da. But he wants to go in a different direction, yeah. And then Ten Hag still gets the criticism for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people who stand managers or anything like that, because it's a results-based business, it's a whatever. But when you first come in, I'll give you the opportunity to do your job, bro. You know what I mean? When Arteta came in, a lot of people were sitting there going crazy. I know Aubameyang's not Ronaldo, but people were going crazy about what he was doing to Ozil and thingy, and now they're calling him a leader of men and this and that. It feels like Ten Hag is not being allowed to work, bro. Ronaldo will do this. Not Simon Jordan, sorry. Souness will say this. Roy Keane will say this. These people, allow the man to work.
Bro,
that's what I'm saying.
That's the thing, though, Cam. When a club signs Cristiano Ronaldo, the guy's status is so big. I agree with you. I think he is the biggest footballer of all time. But no player is bigger than the club, right? But it almost becomes a case of all the attention is consistently on Ronaldo. I remember beginning of the season, I told you this. After the Liverpool game, our biggest win of the season, we played like we were coming off 2 losses. Ronaldo comes off the bench, and all the talk after the game isn't about the game, isn't about how Rashford is back on the score sheet, isn't about how Ten Hag has gotten a win over Liverpool, at the first United manager in 4 years. The entire conversation is all about Ronaldo. And that's the thing for his next club, right? Man United is one of the biggest clubs on the planet, possibly the biggest in some people's eyes. Any club he goes to, he already is making this the Ronaldo show at United. So any other club he goes to, he's going to completely engulf the situation. And as a sporting director, that's a big reason, in my opinion, why clubs aren't willing to take the risk on Ronaldo these days. Because, for example, say Napoli goes and sign him. They're on a title challenge right now. All of a sudden, Ronaldo doesn't start 3 games for Napoli, and all the conversation is Ronaldo. No club wants that headache. No club wants that headache at all.
Like whoever he goes to, he was gonna have to have a serious understanding with them. If it's still that he wants to start every game and stuff, then I am interested to see what club he goes to. You know, there's links about Bayern, but then there's links that it's not true. There's links about PSG, but there's links that it's not true. Who knows? Let's see what happens. But the thing that I can't believe is, and this is a comment there, this is meant to be the eldest statesman of the club. This is meant to be the one that everyone's looking to and being like, all right, you know, even if he's not in a position, you're kind of mentoring people. Boom, boom. You're mentoring it. This is how we're going to do. All right, it's my time to come on. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to start here. Blah, 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 blah. But the eldest player, the eldest, the biggest figure is the one that's the most divisive at the moment. It's crazy when you think about Anthony, just on his Players Tribune, said he came up looking out for Ronaldo is one of his idols or whatever. Garnacho, Gallo, these are guys that absolutely love him. So you would think that, you know, when you're around the camp, he's probably cool with them. But when you're around the camp, you know you're that figure. You know how influential you are. So when you're like really like throwing your toys out the pram, it's a bad look. It's bad for the whole club. It's bad for the whole club. And you think about what people used to say about Pogba and stuff. I was never really pro Pogba or anything like that. But he's never done anything as bad as this.
Never. Yeah, I agree.
He's never done anything as bad as this, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So there's too much going on. You know, some people are saying Ten Hag hasn't handled it well because it's become this big or whatever. But when you have somebody, God gave us free will, bro. If you want to do whatever you want to do, you're going to do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? If you feel this is the way of doing it. And the last thing I would say on that whole kind of Ten Hag situation, the Rooney, whatever, before we talk about anything else, is going on Piers Morgan. Now, I'm somebody that people say Piers Morgan's a bad person and stuff. He probably is. I don't know. With his actual craft, he's very good, right?
He's one of the top in his field. Yeah.
He's very good at what he does. But actually going on with Piers Morgan, who, if you go through Piers Morgan's tweets, has already been saying Ten Hag should be sacked. He said Ronaldo not starting against Liverpool is the worst decision of all time by a manager. Watch what happened when we lose, and he should be fired. Man United won that match.
Yeah.
Man United won that match. He said so many negative things about Ten Hag already. He called him dumb, arrogant, all this type of stuff. And then Ronaldo goes and sits down with that person who is clearly on a propaganda thing for Ronaldo, which is an anti-Ten Hag agenda. That's already just not a good look.
That's for me bigger disrespect than what he even said. I agree with you. That's for me bigger disrespect.
Look, and I'm just being realistic. And all of this about, hey, listen, this transcripts of Piers Morgan back in the day calling Ronaldo a spoiled brat and stuff. It's just funny how things go. Do you know what I'm saying? This is when Ronaldo was actually winning the Ballon d'Or. He was in Man United. That was our 08 season. He called him a spoiled
He's an opportunist. Brat. He's an opportunist, man. Let's call a spade here.
Yeah, I mean, so overall, bro, it's disappointing that it's ended this way because, as you mentioned, bro, I remember Ronaldo's damn debut, bro. I remember his debut at Man United, bro. And I was like, yo, you know what I mean? I remember these days, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So to see it end up this way after, especially, you know, he did the whole, they treated me like a slave. But you're like so proud to have had a player who's so significant to football history that you're just like, you know what? Because think about it. Not many English teams can say that, bro. Not many English teams can say they've had a player who is that significant to football history. And especially be part of the origin, bro.
Yeah, and that's why for me, Cam, I keep saying, people keep asking me on shows, right? Like, do you still consider Ronaldo a United legend? I still do. This for me doesn't change what Ronaldo, like nothing can change what Ronaldo contributed to those 3 years at Man United. Well, obviously he was there longer, but those 3 years are the significant ones. But yeah,
bro, this guy was scoring goals at Highbury, bro. That's how long ago it was. He was scoring goals at Highbury. He was doing these things. So when you look back at it, yeah, it's disappointing that it's had to end this way. That's all I can say, really.
100%.
All I can say is it's definitely disappointing that it's ended this way. But it's time to move on, man. We have to deal with the present day. That's the problem. We have to deal with the present day. We can't deal with the past. We have to deal with the present day. There's rumors about Messi's gonna go back to, he might go to MLS next season, or he might go one final farewell season at Barcelona. But I don't think it's gonna be a situation where he goes and he starts trying to move like a tyrant or anything like that. No. It's gonna be probably a last bow out season. I don't think he should go back to Barcelona. I think he should just leave and sail into the sunset. But
I think the same thing about Ronaldo. People keep asking me, what do you think Ronaldo should do after this? Yo, I'm not even saying this as a hater, right? I honestly think the best decision for him at this point after the World Cup is to retire, because I don't think he has it in himself to take a step back and be.
He's always said he wants to play till he's 40.
Bro, it's gonna kill him inside, bro. It's gonna kill him inside not being able to do what he did 5 years ago.
Look at these people in the comments, Sam. You guys think I'm Cristiano Ronaldo's age, yeah? Come on. Don't kill me, bro.
I
think I'm older than Fuad. Damn. You guys think I'm older than Fuad, you know? Don't kill me, bro.
But truthfully, bro, I honestly think he should retire. Like, okay, if he's able to find it in himself to take a smaller role at a different club, and I don't want to say ring chase, but like play that mentorship role, play here and there sparingly on a team competing for trophies, I'd be more than happy to see him do that. I wish he could do that at United right now, but I don't think he has it in him to take a step back and just admit to himself what he is. And for me, for that reason, I think after the World Cup, he should call it quits. Will he? Absolutely not. I'm sure he'll go to Milan or to Napoli, and it'll be a good first few months in the beginning. He'll be on board, but eventually this thing will end in tears, just like it has this year.
Well, if we keep it 100, like we thought that was going to be the situation with Juventus.
Yeah,
we thought after Real Madrid, because of the financial situation or whatever, and he goes to Real Madrid and he went to Juventus, we probably thought, maybe that's going to be his last club before Sporting. Randomly, he just decided, I want to leave Juventus, and we ended up coughing it up and took him. You know what I mean? But now a situation where I've always thought after Juve, I heard one of his mum's wishes is always, for him before I die, I want to see you play in Sporting one more time. You know what I mean? That's lit, man. Nice fairy tale story. Go and do it. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Don't kill me. Yeah, so on the reality of the situation, I think he just needs to, well, not even just needs to, the contract is going to be terminated, in my opinion. It has to be. I don't see how you can go back to this. And even after that, even if it did, Ten Hag shouldn't really want to play him. Do you know what I mean? He should just be like, it's not changed the situation. It's not helped the situation. Do you remember when we did our show a few weeks ago after the Ronaldo walked out? And I was at Old Trafford, remember? And that I was more angry then than I am now. I'm not really that angry in this. I'm just like, oh well, here we go. But I was fuming with when he walked away, because it was right in front, like you were there and you were just feeling it, like. And with that situation, I said, so what happens in the next 3 games if he doesn't start the next 3 games? Is he going to go and walk off again? You know what I mean? What's the outcome here? Does that make him now a permanent starter? In the end, injuries happened, and he did start every game since then. And here we are today. And let's not forget, right? Let's not forget that it came out that Ten Hag told Ronaldo on Thursday. He told Ronaldo on Thursday, you won't be starting on the weekend. Ronaldo said, I'm ill on Friday. I went to Piers Morgan.
That's so shady, bro. That's so shady. And like the thing about Ten Hag, bro, the fact, and I actually criticized it at the time, but I think now you could actually make the argument that it just makes him look even better. For me, Erik Ten Hag basically extending the olive branch to Ronaldo and saying, here's the captain's armband, let bygones be bygones, whatever happened, let's move on. I thought at the time, I was like, look, bro, you kind of put this stance out that no one is bigger than the club, no one is bigger than the manager, and you're kind of backing down. But now it almost looks like, okay, he keeps saying Ten Hag disrespected me. That action right there disproves that automatically. And I think coming out of this interview, no one looks better than Erik Ten Hag. No one has come out of this interview, in my opinion, looking better than Erik Ten Hag at all.
Well, I don't really know, man. In terms of looking better, I feel like Ten Hag's in a situation where he hasn't really come out looking better, because there's a lot of people that are looking at him worse. Like a lot of people are literally
Ronaldo fans though are looking at him worse though, bro. Realistically, United fans, I think it's actually united a lot of United fans, no pun intended, towards the manager. I think it's actually gotten the fan base closer in his direction.
Yeah, like the thing is, right? The comments are too funny. But listen, he has come out, right, looking like, you look at the Juventus players were celebrating when he left. They can't really say that, because when you look at the club, they're not even doing too well since then. But the reality is, I can't say Ten Hag has come out looking better. I just think he's just come out looking good, though. I think he's just come out looking like, well, I got to get a new striker here. You guys can you see this? Can you see that? That's how I think he's come out. Like, look what he's gonna.
What do you want me to do?
You want me to do with this madman? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I say. I wouldn't say he's come out looking necessarily better or anything like that, but he's come out looking like, guys, listen, this is a ridiculous situation. And then now that the fact that he spoke about the Glazers, Ten Hag is now going to probably look at it and like, you guys are probably the ones, like, you know what I mean? They would have had board meetings after the walkout and all this type of stuff. And he could have been sitting on the fence where it's like, hey man, I want to punish him longer or whatever. And the board could have been like, yo, we want to forget this drama. We got to nip this in the bud. Suspend him 1 game, bring him back, He got the captain armband, and I don't agree with Ten Hag doing that. I think that was a mistake from Ten Hag. Like, that was a mistake. That was trying to do a public truce too much. That ain't it. He shouldn't do that again. But you never know what the board have been saying in meetings with Ten Hag. And then it's like, oh, he dissed you guys too. Hey, hold that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's not just me that's struggling with this guy. He don't rate any of you. So don't rate any of us. So it is what it is, man. But I mean, let's talk about what he said about the club in general.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think like that's the thing, right? The main question is, what's the main takeaway from this interview? Should it be that he called out the Glazers and called out the failing infrastructure at the club and called out the lack of progress since Sir Alex left? Or should we be calling out the stuff that we just talked about? For me, I don't think he belled up Piers Morgan on Friday to just have a moan about the Glazers. I don't think that was the priority of that interview. I almost think... Yeah, for me, I think this is almost like to soften the backlash from fans. Like, say, okay, I said all this, but look, I still got your best interests at heart. Regardless, though, a player of the status of Ronaldo, the size of Ronaldo, who won't be employed for much longer, but still is employed by the club, coming out and saying all of that stuff is still big. He should be applauded for that. We shouldn't just disregard that. And I think he said what a lot of people have been saying for a while, right? Like, the owners of this club are unfit to own the club. They don't care about anything regarding Manchester United outside of the marketing point of view. The infrastructure of the club is failing. Everything is outdated compared to the top clubs in the country. And there hasn't been any progress since Sir Alex has left. In fact, this is all stuff that I keep insisting I think Sir Alex Ferguson should be coming out and saying. Because if anyone is bigger than Man United or even close to being bigger than United, it's Sir Alex. For me, you talk about untouchable status. There's nothing Sir Alex can say that fans would turn on him for. So for me, he's the guy who should be saying that kind of stuff. But Ronaldo, you have to give him his dues for this, of course.
Fergie, I really want to know if Fergie knew about all of this. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what's Fergie's? Listen, anything Ronaldo, Fergie's not too far off. You know what I mean? I saw somebody tweet. Sir Alex Ferguson definitely told Cristiano to spill it all before he leaves. Listen, mate. Fergie has never spoken a word against the Glazers. Never. He's still employed by the Glazers. So let's stop acting like Fergie's this revolutionary guy who knocks down the Glazers and he's using Ronaldo as a tool. I don't know how Fergie ended up getting credit out of this, but let's not do all of that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Big up Fergie, but let's not act like this guy wasn't what he was. He was defending the Glazers his whole life, bro. Yeah. So Ronaldo doing this, fair enough to him. Exactly. We know this. We know the whole story, the horses and the old owners. It's a long story, but you look at Ronaldo coming out. This is again the most famous athlete in the world, right? Speaking out against the club. It's good to hear. You know what I mean? It's good to hear. By the way, it's not in that we haven't heard.
Yeah, he didn't give us any breaking news, right? Like
LBG has said this, Jose has said this, Ragnick has said this, Moyes has said this. All four of them got told to shut the hell up, that they're bitter because they've been sacked. Now Ronaldo says it, right? People are kind of like, I'm like, yo, Ralph was saying this and people told him to keep quiet. You know what I'm trying to say? But flirting versus harassment, you know them ones. However, the situation has still been said, and I'm happy Ronaldo has said it. Do you know what I mean? Again, it's nothing that us fans didn't already know, but the fact that he's just like, yo, they don't care about this. He's on his. I'm a jump before I get pushed thing, and I appreciate that. Fair enough. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna blow everything up, then please mention the club as well. Because as you mentioned, Liez, his frustration 100% stems from not playing. It stems from all of that type of stuff, right? He disrespect from Ten Hag, He feels like he's going to get pushed on. However, if you're going to jump, hey, take everyone with you. Put that vest on and just, yo, you know what I mean?
If I go down, you're all coming down with me.
Exactly, bro. Just do it. You know what I mean? If you're going to do it, just do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that he just said, you know what? I'm not even going to leave that bit. This is something else that you guys should know. Whether he did that because for self-serving reasons, whether he did that because he wants fans on his side, who knows? However, he still said it. And I got to appreciate that he did.
The irony, though, for me about Ronaldo calling out the Glazers, and I said the same thing when Alexis kind of called out United and stuff like that. The Glazers being incompetent owners is the only reason Man United signed Ronaldo in the first place. Ronaldo would not be at the club if we had any other owners, bro. The only owners on the planet who would sign a 37-year-old to a team that couldn't even control football games is the Glazers, for the marketing reasons, for the fact that they were too bitter to let Manchester City have him. So that for me is the whole irony behind that. If we had competent owners, we would have never signed Zlatan. We would have never signed Ronaldo. We wouldn't have ever signed Cavani.
That time was calm.
Bro, but my point is they would have planned ahead of time. Like Man City don't go and sign 36-year-old strikers. Chelsea don't go. Oh, Chelsea, maybe these days they don't. But top run football clubs, Real Madrid, for example, are never taking Cristiano Ronaldo back. Top run football clubs plan for the future while staying competitive now. Man United don't do that. Man United, it's like, okay, well, who's going to make us the most money? Who's going to sell us the most shirts? Who's going to be the biggest names? And okay, if they won us a few football games too, that's not too bad either. So for me, that's the whole irony in the situation as well. But
hey,
yeah,
look,
man.
The reality is, when with what Ronaldo's saying, we didn't get we took Jude Bellingham on a tour. He didn't come because he went to Dortmund for progress reasons.
Yeah.
Haaland, Oli was his old manager. He didn't come because of progress reasons. Man United on a sporting level, with what Ronaldo was saying, Man United on a sporting level have not been an attractive proposition for years. Not for young players, not for players in their prime. We've only been attractive for players who want to boost their name or whatever, or we're going to give them a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? So there is a lot that United need to work on. My only issue is we got a new manager in charge who has said he's trying to work on the culture, change this, da-da-da. I've heard there's been a few departures in the recruitment team and stuff at Old Trafford, at Man United or whatever. So maybe they are trying to work on that. My only thing is we've got to just let this guy work, bro. We can't at every moment be like, hold on, but wait a second. Boom. Oh, no, he has to deal with this. No, he has to do... We've got to try and let him work. But United have got to change their way. And I think going forward, Ronaldo, Man United will try, with a manager like Ten Hag, will try and sign a younger looking striker. We'll try and sign a younger age striker or whatever. Than, the only one we really signed in his prime was Lukaku, right?
I'll say Pogba.
No. I'm talking about strikers.
Oh yeah. Lukaku was the only one. Yeah.
Lukaku's the only one, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. It didn't work out, but the rest have all been stopgaps, bro. Stopgap. United need to do things to move forward, and like Ronaldo said, like Picasso, whatever quote he said. If it's me, they have to. I like that quote, by the way. I'm gonna study that one. I might have to. I like that quote.
I like that, Picasso.
Picasso. Yeah, that one resonated with me still.
That one.
I like that one. I'm gonna check that one out. Still, Picasso sounds like he's a smart man. However,
you sound like LeBron right now, bro.
Hey, man, I remember I told Picasso, like, you're gonna say a legendary quote one day. You know what I mean? Hey, I like his mentality, bro. But now, for real though, whatever Ronaldo said, that Picasso quote, he said, if they need to get rid of me first to start their process of moving forward, then so be it. That's my favorite saying. Yeah, that's my favorite saying.
Hey man.
Hey, don't kill me. Now for real though, like, we have to move forward, man. And I saw a question. I think Arando said, but where's Arando's thing? Arando 91. He said, small possibility, but what happens if Cristiano stays beyond January and we don't sign anybody? That's real poor from Man United. That's poor from United. If this happens, this exact situation that Arando just said happens, that's very poor for Manchester United, bro. That's all I can say. That is very.
And I don't think it will happen, bro, because you're already hearing reports that Ronaldo are even seeking legal advice on if they have the grounds to terminate his contract, like actually sack him based on the comments he made about Ten Hag and the ownership. Like, they're trying to see if they have the grounds to legally sack him. But I think whether it's a sacking, whether it's letting him go on a free, whether it's just very carelessly negotiating with another club just to move him on. Look, I think the chances that Ronaldo ever wears a Man United shirt again or stays past January are actually close to zero. I don't think there's any chance that it could happen.
I genuinely think he wanted this though, innit? Like this was kind
Of
of
course,
my
of course.
yeah.
The
This was kind of
timing is
my
perfect, bro. That's the thing with Ronaldo. Some people call him emotional. I think he's actually very calculated. I think the
of
timing of this
course.
is so calculated, bro. Right before the World Cup, and right, like it's basically gonna stew in Man United's fans all minds all what's it called, World Cup. It's gonna stew in Ten Hag's mind all World Cup, and the World Cup ends right about when the January transfer window opens. It's so calculated.
Like you don't become the most famous athlete in the world without being smart.
Yeah,
It's simple as that. He has to have perfect PR team around him. He has to have everything legal. Everything around him has to be top notch. Of course, he knows what he's doing. He's only going to miss, well, before January. We're still going to have to continue January. It's not like January the 1st strikers coming in.
Yeah, that's true. We got a few
So
games, yeah.
you're still going to have a lot of games that you just don't have Ronaldo. It is the reality of the situation. But he knows in January the 1st, they can probably say, contract terminated, I'm off. So he knows I might only miss 2 games. Boxing Day, if that's when we play, Carabao, and maybe one more league game, and I can find myself a new club. While he's at the World Cup, Mendes is going to be calling everybody. Let's be real. So in his way, Ronaldo's played this perfectly. If he's trying to get out of the club, United now, this World Cup, they have to be trying to sign someone. So from early January, somebody's in. Otherwise, you're banking it. Okay, yes, Martial's probably not going to get in. But knowing this guy, he's going to get injured coming out of his head, even though he's not at the World Cup. However, right now we're only relying on an injury-prone Martial and Rashford. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So United will need to hopefully sign someone, but we didn't want to be in a position where you're having to potentially sign a stopgap, because we're not going to get the best strikers in the game in January. You're not, when most of them are going to be in the last 16 of the Champions League right now.
Yeah.
You know? So
no, I agree, man. I agree. The question is though, Cam, with Ronaldo, I mean, I keep asking people, I personally have no idea, right? We're hearing now reports that Bayern initially had contact with him. Now we're hearing from that same source that a meeting never happened. There's still the PSG rumors brewing around, even though me personally, I think they're moving in a different direction to him. Where does Ronaldo end up in January? Who signs Ronaldo from here?
I don't know, bro. It's a mad one. Like, I don't know. That's the reality. Like, what is the main takeaway from this for him? Like, where's he gonna go? As I just said, he's a very smart guy. Yeah. So I'm hoping his team have something for him. You know what I mean?
He's an idiot if he just kind of put this out without having some backup plan in place. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, I don't know, man. People are talking about Bayern Munich. Is that legit, or is that people on comments are being rude, bro? Man said he's gonna end up on FTBL. but he's
our newest signing. Someone said Stoppage Time TV. Hey, we recruiting, bro.
I won't be disrespectful, man. I won't be disrespectful, but I don't know, man. I said in the summer I think Bayern Munich would have been his best move, but I don't know if those chats are real. Especially off Nagelsmann, when Lua left, said we're playing more fluid football. So then to bring in Ronaldo, that'll be a bit weird. And then Khan said, listen, Ronaldo's one of the GOATs, but he doesn't fit our philosophy. So
look at Bayern Munich, Cam. Bayern Munich their philosophy in general is never to sign over-the-hill superstars. To be honest, in the Bundesliga, you very rarely see superstars come to that league. Bayern Munich will never sign a 38-year-old on those wages as well, because that's another thing we have to take into account. He makes what, 400,000, 500,000 pounds a week at United? He'll have to take a pay cut anyways. But even with a pay cut, very few teams on the planet can afford him.
Yeah, I mean this PSG link. As I said, they're trying to put my man in a coffin.
Like Gaultier, man, he don't need that.
Gaultier, I hope, they're trying to put him in a coffin, bro. Man said Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe. Do you know what level of man? You can't even manage that. You just don't even talk to him. You just say, you're always starting.
I'll see you on Saturday.
I'll see you on Saturday. You're starting. That's it. See you later. Yeah, I mean, that's all he can really do, bro. Because, I don't know. That sounds unrealistic, though. And I don't even want to see that, bro. Man said, I don't want to see Messi and Ronaldo play with each other in their 30s and that. Bro, this is some multiverse, boring ass storyline. You know what I mean? I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know where he's going to end up, man. Bowley probably still wants him. But I'm hearing Potter don't. If you don't respect Ten Hag, you really going to respect Potter? what's Prada done in the game either. So yeah, I don't know where it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be one of the moments where everyone is just chilling on a random day, and we're just gonna get bam, this team are accelerating with Cristiano Ronaldo, and the next thing you know, he plays for some random team. I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting. There's no way Ronaldo on a free, if it does contract gets terminated, Ronaldo on a free just has no club. He's not gonna be a free agent.
He go on the final day of free agency. They better sign him with a vet min. 2-week contract.
10-day contract. Isaiah Thomas. Nah, there's no way that he'll do that. So I don't know what the outcome is. Obviously, Perez, Real Madrid will not sign him. All these you can't go back there. I'm saying maybe it's a Sporting Lisbon thing, man. It's a Sporting thing. They're in the Europa as well. Anyway, we're in the Europa. They're in the Europa. Go home, sign a little 1.5 year, 2 years, and do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most realistic one, man. I just don't know where else can take him at the moment, or who is going to pop up from the shadows and take him. Because even Napoli in October denied any interest in Cristiano Ronaldo. Don't want any interest. They like dropped that or whatever. So
I just don't see with Napoli, where is he going to play in that team, right? This is why I keep saying, like, he wants to be at a top contending team, but he also wants to be basically starting every single game. It's very difficult at this stage in his career to have both of them. Very, very difficult. Maybe Italy, because I think you see a lot of these older strikers like Zlatan, like Giroud, like Dzeko kind of have that last few years renaissance in their career, and maybe a team will take a punt on him. Maybe Juve, who knows, bro? Maybe Juve takes him as a backup or something like that. Again, will he want to even do that? So yeah, it is very difficult to find his next club. I'm with you, bro. Go to Sporting Lisbon. It's kind of like his career is coming full circle. Sporting to United, comes back to United later, and then finishes up at Sporting. That would be, I guess, it'll mean something. But yeah, man, I really think he's in a situation. I completely agree with you. It would be very like they always say, you never quit a job without having another one in line. But me, boy, he better have something in line.
I've done that not numerous times. I've done that numerous times. Plan B hype. You know what I mean?
You got terrible advisors, bro. You ain't got Jorge Mendes on your side. Jorge Mendes would never tell him to do that, bro.
Me, I just be like, yo, I'm out here, man. And then I find myself somewhere else, bro. You know what I'm saying?
They're saying Amorim said before that he'd quit if Sporting Lisbon signed Cristiano Ronaldo.
Did he actually say that? It's so mad, yeah? Because now when you look at it, you'll be thinking to yourself, oh, yeah, Juventus is a good move for him. You wouldn't be thinking that. Like, if you talk about Syria, you'll be thinking Juventus is a good move. Hey, crazy how life works, bro.
People are saying it was fake news. Okay, fair enough. Joey Lopez, super chat. Thank you, bro. Gary Neville refused to get on TV and criticize Oli ever, even when he was terrible, but criticized Ronaldo. That's why CR7 is upset. No consistency. Look, I was someone who was onto Gary Neville last year saying, look, forget about friendship, forget about loyalty. We got to call a spade here. Like, you're protecting a guy that, in my opinion, personally, was dragging United down. So I was actually happy when I was seeing people who, even though they were close to Ronaldo based on their playing career, actually come at him. But I can understand why Ronaldo would be upset due to no consistency, right? Like, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do. Like, yeah, I kind of hear that.
But the thing is, though, like, with that is, I've said numerous times, people shouldn't expect, if you're actually a friend, an actual real friend, yeah, like to the point, I don't even expect people to be honest. So when they are, I'm like, oh, okay, I hear it. You know what I'm trying to say? Fair enough. Because Jamie wasn't really honest with Gerrard. I mean, didn't really much speak about Gerrard. He just kind of avoided those kind of situations. Yeah. Fair. At least he's not going up on there and waffling like Gary Neville was. But Roy Keane was doing this with Oli. Who else is there? Rio was defending Oli. Roy Keane until the last minute. Rio, I've spoken to Rio about this. Rio was the first legend that was friends with Oli to end up saying, okay, Oli needs to go pretty much. But for a long time, he was defending him. You know what I mean? Because of his friendship with him, it's natural. This is what's going to happen. So when I do see people come out and speak against, not against, but objectively against their friend, I'm like, yo, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. But listen, we can't expect bias not to exist. If I went on TV, the chances of me saying something about you digging you. Oh, yes, his content not hitting. It's rare. Is the chance of that is slim. You know, we just gotta be real, man. People are like that. You know what I mean? People are like that. They're just
Yeah,
gonna
hundred
protect their
percent.
friends. And Roy Keane obviously has always had great admiration for Ronaldo. He likes him? They're cool. He will defend him. Do you know what I mean? And so will all the other people that have as well. So yeah, it's just the way
Hundred
it is.
percent. I got a question for you as well. Seeing how it all played out, and seeing also where Man City are now with Erling Haaland, let's take it back to last summer, not this past summer, but the summer before that, when Ronaldo was on the verge, reportedly, of signing for Manchester City. United jumped in, knowing everything we do know now, how it all played out. If you had the chance to change history, would you still have signed Cristiano Ronaldo?
Bro, I would. It's crazy because this is hindsight speaking, isn't it? This is hindsight. But one thing I would say, bro, is I remember how I was feeling when this brother was about to sign for Man City. Oh my days, bro. That's all I can say. I was like, nah. This can't happen. This can't happen. I was like about to lose my mind. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, of course I'd have let. Hey, Ronaldo could have went. Nah, I was about to lose my mind because it was all emotional. But I'm a fan. I'm not the club. The club have to think about everything. I'm just a fan who's emotional at the time about Ronaldo going to Man City. I was just like, nah, this can't happen, bro. Like, what?
No doubt, bro. Cam,
It
here's the
was
thing,
time
right?
for the club.
Every
It was
United fan would have
Man
said
City,
that.
bro. You know what?
What you say?
Listen, we don't know what would have happened. Like, we all say,
Yeah,
oh, if Ronaldo went Man City, he would have scored 1,000,000 goals and they would have won the league. We don't know that. They only won the league by 1 point last season. He could have come
yeah,
in. He could have even derailed something for them, and Liverpool could have won the league, and that would have been peak anyway. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
However, it's the impact that Ronaldo has globally and stuff, and Man City are chasing that behind Man United. Ronaldo in a Man City top, just the whole like perception that if Ronaldo in a Man City top actually went and won the league or won a Champions League or whatever, while at Man City with the fan base and the popularity that he brings, that would have been a generational damage for Manchester United, bro.
Yeah.
Generational damage, bro. The kids on the street already don't are already running around with KDB, Sterling, and
Foden,
flipping
yeah.
Foden tops. Ronaldo. Now they
Mm-hmm.
go get Ronaldo. Get the
Yeah.
hell out of here, man.
I
Get
can't
out.
lie though, bro. I hear everything you're saying, right? And I was similar, bro. Like I couldn't believe it. Ronaldo going to Man City. Like up until the last second, I was like, nah, there's no way this ever happens. And I remember when he did sign, obviously I was overjoyed, bro. Put out a comp within like seconds. I had shit loaded up. But I just look at where City are now. Bro, they signed Erling Haaland. They're about to win. Like, there's a very good chance they could win back to back three Premier League trophies in a row.
Mm.
And I look at from a United point of view, this signing for me has done so much damage. And you look at his legacy now. You talk about if Ronaldo had signed for Man City, Ronaldo signed for United, and his legacy is taking hits right now. Me personally, I still think he's a legend of the club, but a lot of people have rightfully said in their opinion that look, this guy isn't a bigger legend than Rooney, than Giggs, and Scholes, especially when he does stuff like this.
Look,
I think with hindsight, bro, I'm gonna say this. I think with hindsight, I wouldn't have signed him. I would have let him go to Man City and continued the process that United should have been on, trying to sign players for the right age group. Not saying that it had to be under Ollie. Obviously, I'd love to see Ten Hag come in a year earlier, but continue sticking with that game plan. For me, the Ronaldo signing derailed everything that was kind of building at the club. And you see the way it's gone down this year. We had 1 year where he scored 24 goals, and that's it. And now the club is a mess because of him.
I wouldn't say the club's a mess because of him.
No. Okay. There's obviously other factors at hand. Of course.
Yeah,
Let me rephrase that. The club is not a mess because of him. Man United is a shit show regardless. But I think that they were at least building a squad of around the same age group. There was something brewing there, and I think the Ronaldo signing derailed a lot of that. And now I think where you see it now.
For me, that United team, regardless, were not good anyway. We got lucky to finish second. It was a false image.
Defo.
Liverpool had an injury season. Chelsea weren't at it. They had Lampard for a majority, and then they still went and won the Champions League. It overall was a mid-season, and it was going to collapse eventually. With a manager of that level of Ollie, you have absolutely no chance of doing anything remotely serious. So Man United were always going to go in a way down. Can you say Cristiano Ronaldo was part of that? Probably. Maybe you can say that it wasn't suited to what Oli wanted. Maybe you could say all of that. Like, we can say, oh, he was the best player in a rubbish team, but there's not much joy in being the best in a rubbish team that don't succeed anyway. Like, it was our worst ever finish. There's no real pride in or joy in that. However, one way or another, United were gonna fail under Oli anyway.
No, I agree. And I see a lot of people saying Oli hype. Bro, if anyone knows me, I was not hyping up Oli. I was probably from his second season, right after the interim period, I was saying this guy's not the right guy. So I completely agree. Oli was never going to be a success at Manchester United, especially from a silverware point of view. But I still think the squad that they were building with the Varane signing and the Bruno signing and that kind of like the players of that age group coming together, I think the Ronaldo thing was the completely wrong timeline. That's a player that you buy when the squad is already set and they just need that one final piece. And I think it completely derailed the progress of that squad building. Oli, I'm completely with you. The guy should never have been a Man United manager, ever.
Yeah, look, reality is with Ronaldo, no trophies. Without Ronaldo, no trophies. That's the fact right there. So let's boost on that. You know what I mean? Let's really go and work on that before anything else. But overall, it's, as I said, it's a sad it's come to this, but you got to go, man. You got to go now, man.
Who are you replacing him with, bro? Who are you replacing him with, given the current options on the market? Let's say like Osimhen is available in the summer. Because here's the thing too, right? I liken this a lot to the Arsenal situation of last year, where Aubameyang, it was kind of similar, going back and forth with the manager. They decided to cut ties in January. In fact, they basically gave him away to Barcelona. They paid Barca to take him off their hands. And there was the option, or there was the possibility that they could sign Vlahovic, and it never ended up happening. He ended up going to Juve, and they kind of rode the team that they had, narrowly missed out on the top four, but ended up getting a better option in Jesus for that team. Or we'll see if it is a better option. But so far, it's going great for them. First place in the league, they're flying. With United, is it a case, would you like to see them immediately dip into the window this January and buy a short-term solution? Or would you rather wait until the summer where perhaps that right profile comes that this squad desperately needs? How would you approach this?
It's hard, man, because do you make these short-term signings, bro? Is it a short term? Is the person that you're going to go and try and sign in January somebody that you're actually going to move forward with next season?
Yeah.
That's the situation, bro. I'm not having no Agallo type signing again, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not having anything like that. Hey, you're fair enough to Agallo. He tried, man, but he didn't. That's not it. Like, it's hard, man. For me, the striker market is mid.
It's dry, bro.
The striker market is not that great. There's good players in there, but they're all gambles. Tony is a gamble. But it's a one that if you can calculate that risk, then and it makes sense, then cool.
If the price is right.
Like Mitrovic risk. Vlahovic, is he available right now? We don't even know. Like, we'll have to probably do something big. People like Endrick, that just sounds like fantasy. He's gonna go to like a Real Madrid or something.
He's 16 anyways, bro. Like,
yeah, he's the truth. But anyway,
he's 16.
He's the truth. But Osimhen, he's currently leading the title charge. He's currently in the last 16. Napoli are arguably one of the best teams in the world at the moment.
Yeah,
so right if that's not sounding realistic, who else is there? Am I missing Sesko? Somebody said Sesko.
João Felix, perhaps.
João Felix. Is that the profile that we want? You know, so it's so tough, man. It's so tough. But I think that's like the list. I think there's like a 7-8 man list that United can maybe look through, and they're gonna have to sign one of them. But can you get them in January? I don't know. The only ones that I can see being able to be cropped in January
are a shout, bro. I think this is a shout right here.
Memphis. Memphis is just giving me the same kind of vibes as a Martial and Rashford, though, man. Like,
but I think in terms of like short term,
are you a striker? How many goals do you actually score?
But Cam, I think when you look at it from a point of view of just get us till the end of the season, score us enough goals to kind of get us competing for those European places, and then in the summer find that right guy, I think it kind of makes sense, bro.
Would you reckon we can get Memphis on loan?
I don't see why not. He doesn't play a Barca.
He doesn't play much, innit?
That's what I'm saying. So, like, that's a guy who's available.
What's he saying? Harry Kane in the summer as well. Hey, who knows, bro? Who knows? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough one, bro. It's a tough one. Like, Ten Hag and the scouting team and the recruitment team, have a big job on their hands to understand who they want to get. Cody Gakpo as well, though. He's another one. Are you a winger? Are you a striker?
Yeah.
We don't know. Like, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? So who knows? Maybe somebody might have a good World Cup and you're like, oh, let's go get you like a Schick or something. You know, this Schick guy.
I
He's
look
always
at though the Cavani situation, bro. If you can find someone like that who like for me, Tony, it would be perfect because Tony, if we sign him right now, say for 40 million, I know Brentford would probably charge us an arm and a leg for him, but say we sign him for 40 million, he's the striker for this year, the rest of the season, maybe even going into next season. And then when that right guy comes in, Tony would be more than willing to just kind of be like the backup who rotates in and out with him. I think that would be a perfect signing because, bro, you talk about the Osimhens and the Vlahoviches. You have to be certain that these guys are the long-term strikers for Man United. These are projects that you're fully committing into, bro. It's like, and are they really that good to commit that much into? That's the biggest.
How
risk
much
for
would
me.
it be to get Osimhen, for example?
Over 100 for sure.
This is madness.
That's
Bro.
what I'm saying. So that's what I think.
I'm
That's what you have to
Nigerian,
be
right?
certain that Osimhen is the guy to commit that kind of money, bro.
I'm Nigerian, yeah. I'm telling you
Careful.
now.
Steady.
I seen these man can fall off quick, bro. 100 million, then in 3 seasons, we're like, who the hell is this guy, bro? Like 2 seasons, this ain't the guy that we signed. I'm telling you this now, bro. So I don't know. It's all gambles, bro. It's all gambles. But hopefully he can make it, be the second Nigerian to play for the club. That would be nice. See, the thing about him, the thing about him, I'm not a fan of his technical ability at all.
Yeah.
However, he's got movement. He's good in the air. He's an absolute problem. He can play up front by himself. He's got the package, really. He's fast. But does it warrant spending that much money on it? You know what I mean? But you might have to take the risk. Liverpool are going to take the risk with Darwin Núñez, who we were apparently linked with. And I think that risk will end up paying off. Núñez hasn't got the ability, like per se, amazing ability, but he's got all the things that I just said Osimhen has. So maybe we might have to take that risk. You know what I mean? But Ten Hag was talking about Martial as the type of striker he likes because they can link up and stuff. That's not really his
game. Yeah.
Not really his game like that. But I mean, I think he opens things up for others, you know? I think he'll open things up for. I think your wingers can score more goals with a guy like him. Your number 10 can score more goals with a guy like him. But it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. I'm kind of torn, man. I'm actually very interested to see which striker spot.
That's why I'm saying though, bro. That's why I'm looking at guys like Morata, like what's his name, Memphis. No, but I'm looking at them. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them for 6 months, bro, just so that you can kind of analyze the market at your own time. I think being rushed into these big money signings is what United has made a huge mistake in doing. If you can get a stopgap for 6 months just to help us close out the season, and then in the summer, hopefully find that right guy, I think that's the way United should go. The Cavani signing for me was a perfect example of that. Obviously, they didn't end up finding that right guy, but he was that stopgap for a year. He did better than any of us were expecting to do. The problem was the next summer, I don't think we got the right guy to replace him. But I think if you can kind of go down that route, that's the way United should go, in my opinion. I think you're on mute.
I hear what you're saying, but Morata, I ain't really trying to hear that, bro.
You talk about the Martial profile, someone who can kind of bring players into play. I think Morata's underrated. Me personally, I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I think Morata's slept on.
Whatever, mate. Whatever, mate. You know what I mean? Whatever.
He's about to talk about Griezmann.
That should have happened 3 seasons ago, bro.
Yeah.
That should have happened 3-4 seasons ago. When I think it was like 2016 that he was linked to us.
17, right after the Europa League, and Pogba was doing the hotline bling. Let's see what else we got to talk about, because we had a plan for the show. Obviously, the Ronaldo bit was the key part, but I know they had us speaking about a few other things. Let me read this real quick. World Cup coverage. Let's talk about
hit the likes, man. Hit the likes.
Yeah. Smash that like button, guys. Come on. Got over 600 people in the stream right now, by the way. That's crazy. We're showing mad love. But let's talk about some of the players from Man United that are going to be going at the World Cup this summer. I say this summer, this winter, Cam. I believe that after City, they have the second most amount of players in the Premier League going to the World Cup this year, Man United. And it's kind of funny, right? Because I was thinking there haven't been that many players ever, Cam, that win the World Cup while at Man United. There's Pogba, obviously, but before that, you got to go a long time back to find a player that, while at the club, won the World Cup. That's difficult. So we talk about a few of them, right? Lissandro at Argentina, Ericsson at Denmark. You got, what's his name? The Brazilians, Antony, Casemiro, and Fred, Varane at France. Who are the ones you're really looking out for this World Cup, keeping an eye out on?
For my United players,
Yeah.
probably Antony. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on in that Brazil team. I heard that he's one of the pivotal players. He's one of the pivotal players for Tite. So I'm very interested to see how he gets on that right wing, because obviously he's got competition in that position as well, a lot of competition. So interesting to see that. Casemiro as well. I think he's going to be one of the players of the tournament. I think he's going to have a great tournament. So I'm looking forward to seeing him as well. So those are the two, even though they're both Brazilian, those are the two that I'm actually mainly looking at. And who else is there? I don't think Rashford is going to start. I don't think Dalot is going to start. I don't know if he's going to start.
I think he's in challenge with, what's his name,
on the left. No, unless they're going to put Cancelo on the left.
I think he's in competition with those three, whether he goes Cancelo right, Mendes left, or Cancelo left, Dalot right.
Yeah. Is Lissandro going to start?
I doubt it. To this point, it's been Otamendi and Romero. But the thing with Argentina is that the Paul loss now means they could go back three. And I think Lissandro, left side of a back three, could ball out, bro.
De Paul, where is he?
Not De Paul. Sorry, Lo Celso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so for now, I'm gonna say Casemiro and Antony. What about you?
There's a few of them. I think Casemiro is a huge one because, I mean, you guys will find out tomorrow. Me and Cam, we got FTBL Culture tomorrow, kind of debating between Brazil and Argentina, Neymar versus Messi. And I think that Brazil's spine with Casemiro kind of at the heart of it is really good. So Casemiro, for me, would probably be the biggest one. Outside of that, I'd look at Ericsson, bro, just because I think Denmark is a sleeper for this World Cup. I'm not saying they're going to go all the way, but of course they had a great tournament without him, went all the way to the semifinals. And I think that France team, there still is a lot of question marks around them. And Denmark, whatever creatively they do well, it's got to come from him. So I keep a lookout on him.
What about your boy, Luke Shaw?
He'll have a great tournament, bro. For England, Luke Shaw balls out. Alberto Carlos on the left wing back. He hoops for England.
And to be fair, he's good for England. So is Maguire. Listen, Maguire, just put yourself in the shop window.
Yeah, man. I mean? Get us some money back.
Let's have a good tournament, man. Let's add an extra 20 on that. You know what I'm saying? So
what? So 20 million. That's his price.
Don't be rude, bro. We're all rude, fam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just say those are my two, Casemiro and Antony.
100%. Guys, we'll have a lot more World Cup content for you guys coming up in the next few weeks. Obviously, we're going to be on here. There's going to be content on here every single day. Trust me. This is the place to be. I've had 600 people in the chat, bro. And if you guys are not subscribed, I can't imagine 600 of you are. If you aren't, make sure you subscribe. We're on here almost every single day. Great content coming your way. Tomorrow, I'm telling you, Brazil versus Argentina, head-to-head, Neymar and Messi. Who needs the World Cup more? With us two, of course. But I think it's going to do it, bro. It's been a good stream, over an hour long. Got some frustration out of our heads on Ronaldo. We'll see what happens with him. But yo, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Comment down below, helps the algorithm out. Smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe, guys. We're trying to get the 20K by the end of the World Cup minimum. See how far we can get. But I think that's all we got, Cam. You got anything else?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ronaldo does at the World Cup as well. How can I forget that? I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Ronaldo does at the World Cup. But yes, man, that's about it. Like, share, subscribe. Look out for the content that's coming tomorrow. It's not a live one, but it's already been recorded, locked and loaded. Make sure you guys tune into that. Subscribe. As I said again, we got a lot of things coming. Stoppage time as well. We've got some specials coming as well. It's going to be lit, man.
100. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Peace.